good morning, and aloha. Welcome to Lucy's Paradise Podcast. We have my Instagram's favorite guest, Chas.
Hey, cuz check this out.
Yeah, check it out. The first thing I wanted to actually talk about, besides the Spartan weekend that just occurred, as you guys can see, the painting is in the studio, and we weren't able to be in the studio today, but we shifted and adjusted. This is my little beast medal I did from doing the Spartan Beast, which I'm just glad I was able to show up and do it because last week I had COVID. So actually the last time we shot a podcast, I felt really bad because 2 days later I figured out I had COVID and I was like, oh my god, I hope I didn't get Chas and Grant sick.
So far, no.
Yeah, thank God. I'm so glad I just didn't get you guys sick. It sucked to have COVID and be alone, and I think just being sick and being by yourself kind of sucks, but I tried my best to drink a lot of orange juice and get a lot of rest, and it's honestly probably what I really needed. So it sucks that I have to get COVID in order to take a break, but I felt fine. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do the race, and my goal was to get top 50, and I got 18 out of 68 or 58 or something like that. So I made top 20, so that was way better than I thought, considering I didn't train for it. So super excited about that. I'm glad that's over now. For those of you who did the Spartan, good job. You guys are beasts. That's what I love to see. And if you didn't, you don't need to do it. I did it for you. It was funny because you were texting me during the race, and I was like, you were like, oh yeah, we hang out. And I was like, bro, I wish we was hanging out, bro.
I'm dying right now, girl.
Yeah, why am I doing this? But I wanted to ask you what you think about my new sick tat, bro.
That is a smooth.
Because I'm Hawaiian now, bro.
Oh yeah. Girl, you're always Hawaiian.
Like
even without the tattoo,
Well,
you guys like scrap. Yeah. Guys, check her out, yeah.
But you like it?
Yeah, I love it. Love it. It's really nice.
I know a guy if you want some tribals.
Yes.
Let me know.
I love tattoos, so we get tatted over.
Yeah, I love tattoos.
Yeah.
But today we're gonna do something a little bit different, something a little bit fun. And the first thing we're gonna talk about, and then we're gonna get into conspiracy theories. But the first thing we're gonna talk about is ghosts. So what do you think about ghosts?
They're scary as fuck.
So are they real? Do we think they're real?
I mean, I think so. There's a lot of theories and people say about them. When you see spirits or ghosts, that's just the demons. But I guess everybody has a different belief, yeah. They say that it could be the devil pretending that it's somebody you know, making you feel like that, that's really the ghost. That's a lure in.
Oh, trying to get you to do something or something.
Yeah, or when they try to get you to believe in that's the ghost, you give them more power.
Do you think ghosts, now, when we look back 20, 30 years from now, right? Ghosts that died today or whatever, do you think they're going to be on their cell phones and walking around?
I don't know actually. Oh, who knows? Anything possible.
Right, because you know how ghosts are always wearing old clothes
and
you think they're going to be on their cell phone ignoring you?
Oh, who knows? Probably. Everybody updates on everything nowadays, yeah. So these hip ghosts is gonna be gangster ghosts now. You know what I mean?
Dressed all hipster and stuff.
Yeah, with that chain stay.
Oh my god, some local brother.
Yep.
So have you had an experience with ghosts? Because I've had a lot. So.
I mean, I've heard things and I've talked about it with people and they tell me their experiences, but the knockings. I did actually experience one. This was when I was, I think, 13. I was living in Miley. And you know how they say you knock on the wall, sometimes they knock back.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that was or if somebody in the house was fucking with me or whatever, but I knocked and I was knocked 3 times. Somebody knocked really fast back. I totally forgot to tell you about that one.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
They knocked back and I'm looking around who did it? Everybody was on the floor. They was watching TV. My dad was out cold on the table already, so he was next to the wall, but he was sleeping. So
yeah.
I don't know
so
what
you were
that was.
wait, who the hell is that? Oh my god, that's scary.
Yeah,
I believe it though, because that's white eyesight.
Yeah.
You know?
And where we lived, we were in the Goonies. In the Goonies, too. Our place where we lived was an old swamp. Long time ago, so it was I was scared.
You know, Hawaii is actually one of the most haunted places ever, in the world.
Oh yeah, just all that Hawaiian legends too. Yeah, that's why.
Because of all the battles, and I mean, I believe it. You know what I mean? But like, I feel it too. I think.
Me
you
too.
know?
I get
Like, to
times
an
where I
extent.
go places and I feel like unease and scared. And
Well,
I'm
I had a
just-
couple things. So, first, I dated a girl that could see ghosts. And you know how it is when someone tells you or they let you know, like they could, like whatever. Like, I'm a believer, so to me it wasn't far fetched. I was like, oh shoot, but I had so many different experiences and encounters when I was with her. It is undeniable. Like I do not deny that she saw ghosts. Like I 100% believe her, and I 100% believed her when she told me before we had experiences. But I'll tell you a story. So she wanted to go, I forget why, it was like a holiday or something, but she wanted to go visit her grandma's grave.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And apparently her grandma could also see ghosts.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna like reveal the person, but like the story's enough information. So we go to like the cemetery, and we go over there, and I was kind of gonna give her moment. So I think I had like, we had like a lei or something, and I had like the rubbish. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go throw away the rubbish.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay. So I walked away, kind of like gave her some time. You know,
Oh, yeah,
to,
yeah.
like, you
Like,
know how it
just
is when you
respect,
first,
yeah.
when
Yeah.
you first go up, it's like a little weird, and then you're kind of like, okay, I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
So I was giving her like her own space. I walked up, and the trash can was far. I was like, dang, why don't drive your trash can all the way over there, you know? So I was like, dang. So I walked, I'm walking, throw it in the trash can. I turn around, and this girl is like, looks like she's just talking to somebody. And I will never forget like the chills I got, because I was like, shit, like she's not kidding. Like she can see shit. And I was like, damn. So then she's not facing me. She's facing the other way. But so I'm like behind her, but like I'm way far away. So then I start walking back, but I have to like navigate, around
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of the stones and
Yep.
stuff. And I'm not gonna just step on people's gravestones, So I'm like trying to be respectful and take my time. Freaking, in the maze of the cemetery.
Yep.
And I noticed one of the gravestones or whatever, like they have, how they have the vases, some
Yeah.
of them? The vase was like tilted over, like it fell over.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shoot. So as I was walking, I noticed it, so I was like, gonna bend down and fix the vase, just cause, like, why not,
Yeah.
And I go to bend down, and as soon as I do that, she stops talking and turns around, and like looks at me, and she was like, "Make sure you ask," or well, she. So anyway, I fixed it, and I went back over to her because we're kind of far away, and then she goes, "Hey, like, make sure when you do that, like, you let them know or whatever," and I was like. But what was creepy is like, how did she know I was doing that? And she said that when she was talking to her grandma or whatever,
Yeah.
her grandma was like, what is she doing? And then that's why she turned around. And I was like, yo, but I noticed it, and that creeped me out too. And I was like, bruh, what? Like it was like,
Oh my god, I got the
I
chills
did not deny it,
I
100%.
believe.
I don't like. I believed her because I do believe in that kind of stuff. I'm always a little skeptical, but there was just so many different instances,
Yeah.
that I'm like, yeah.
signs that is
Like,
real.
because you'd have to be completely delusional to go out there.
Sorry,
What's up?
I just realized my audio recorder didn't record. It's not recording,
Okay.
but these audios are recording.
Ooh, and you know what they say about that too sometimes, yeah? When people talk about, this is some people that believe, you talk about
Is it recording now?
No. Should I just hit the button?
Yeah, just hit the
Okay.
button. And we'll just go from there. So that was creepy. We were talking about a ghost story, and then we realized the audio wasn't even recording.
And I know I hit it. I know I hit the button.
Well, yeah, because you hit it before we do the countdown.
I say audio recording and I push the button. And it just so happens that this is the one time that it didn't work.
The ghost didn't want to hear the story.
No, okay, that's one thing, a lot of people believe. When you're talking about spirits or somebody that you know of, passed away or whatever's, even people that go ghost hunting, like how you're saying ghost hunting.
Yeah, I used to. I don't do it anymore.
No, but
I
like,
have a video of a demon that I put on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was creepy.
girl.
So we were like recording ourselves in the car, and we're like talking. That night or the night later, when I went to edit the video,
Yeah.
you could see a demon in the window of the car
Oh my
next
god.
to me. Yeah, and I was like, it was creepy.
Yeah, and that's like the energy. You're giving the ghost the energy when we talk about it. A lot of people believe. Like people in church and stuff like that, like I'm not gonna diss them, but they think that it's like that. You watch scary movies, spirit movies, demon movies, whatever it is, horror movies, it comes back eventually. Or like comes something happens. Like I don't know if you saw The Exorcist. Sorry.
Yeah, but
I know we jumped from ghosts to demons, but never mind.
No, it's okay. But the thing about that is, I think like people come up with these creative ideas because of things that have happened,
Me too.
or because of stories that have happened, you know. And then they're like, oh my gosh, we should make that a movie, or whatever.
That's exactly what I think too.
There's a couple things. One of them is back in the day when I was growing up, my cousins were like convinced that this doll was possessed, and I'm like, whatever, you guys crazy, like. Whatever, you know. And then I came over one day, they were telling me this story. I'm like, whatever. They're like, no, seriously, like it's really creepy, nah. And my cousin was like, I saw a child playing with the doll, whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. So we were talking about it, and in the kitchen, there's like this skylight. It's super weird. You know those old-fashioned houses where they had those weird skylights and it was like a thing?
Yep.
So there was this skylight, and I remember we were talking about it, and my cousin was like, oh, look, and we look up, and it's like child handprints on the skylight. And I was like, what the heck? And it was not us, because we couldn't even reach that.
Yeah.
But it was like creepy, and I was like, yeah. I don't know about that, but like, you know what I mean? But I dated somebody that could see ghosts. And then I had a friend that could see ghosts, and we would go ghost hunting. And besides the demon video, so the reason I brought that up is because we specifically and purposefully went to this church that's on AMR. And it's known to be haunted. Just like our police station at Fort Shafter. Now, Fort Shafter is over 100 years old.
Yay.
And during World War II, when Pearl Harbor was bombed, they actually, when it was bombed and like things happened, at some point during World War II, they had to put bodies, and the only place that they had to put them was underneath a police station, because that's the only space that they had. So I remember when I first went down there, and they're like telling me like all the weird stuff that's happened down there, I was like, that's funny, because I don't even like to be here right now. Like I could feel an energy that was like not welcoming. Not necessarily like evil, but just like, ooh, you could feel something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like something that was there. Almost like when you're in a room and you think you're alone, but then you find out you're not alone. Like that's creepy.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That is. Oh my goodness.
But a lot of police officers would tell me stories that they would like nap, and then some guy would come and start yelling at them, and they were like, what? And it was like a ghost that passed away that was like some sergeant or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they would see him sleeping on shift and like scold them. And I was like, but it was gone. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
And they're like, and that happened to numerous police officers.
Dang.
I had one police officer guy that showed me videos of things moving and stuff in the office. And I was like, I don't need nothing from that office.
Oh, poltergeist. No way.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Keep yourself.
Yeah, but
Just kidding.
I 100% believe Shafter, a lot of the police station at Shafter is haunted, because I've heard so many stories and I've seen those videos. Like I said, nothing happened to me specifically. I just didn't like being down there. I was like, I'm never going down there.
Oh yeah.
But at AMR, the church is known to be haunted. So what would end up happening is I would work the night shift a lot. So the night shift for the police is like 9 p.m. to like 4 in the morning or something like that. And then the daytime guys come at like 5, and then we switch, right? So when it was like 2, 3 in the morning, there was occasionally there'd be like, oh, there's a light on in the church. And so now as a police officer, we think that kids are like breaking into the church or something. You know, like some crime is being committed, or the most logical scenario is that somebody just left the light on. But the thing is, we already check all these areas like hourly. So like an hour ago, there's no light on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
and or like an hour ago somebody might have checked it and everything was closed. So
Right.
this is why I believe stuff, right? So then one of my guys was like, oh, there's a light on and I'm hearing stuff, so I'm gonna go and check the church. And I texted him, I'm like, look, man, that place is haunted. You ain't gonna
Yeah.
find nothing. And there might be some sounds and some lights and things like that. So have fun. He was not a believer at all. Never believed in that kind of stuff. Him and somebody else went and cleared that church, and they were like, yeah, I believe in something. Because when they ended up leaving, one of the doors slammed. And they were like, what the heck? And no winds, nothing. It wasn't like a windy night or anything like that. So he was like, you're right, 100%. Because at first he's like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna go check it out. Some kids are probably in there. I'm like, no, man, it's haunted. Like, I'm like, it's probably just a ghost ghosting, you know,
Yeah, maybe it's
ghosting
just-
around or
It's
whatever.
their routine right now.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah. So he's now a believer because of his own experiences.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
it's-
But
yeah.
before I was trying to be like, man, I
We warned you.
wouldn't. But I don't mess with that stuff anymore.
That's good.
And I don't because too many things have happened. So one particular night, and before this night happened, my friends told me the story, and they said, hey, we went ghost hunting with our friend Caitlin. So my friend Caitlin could see ghosts at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it was really creepy. I know it was a night that I wasn't there. They're like, it was really creepy. They're like, but she was acting really weird. She was like profusely sweating, all this stuff. And then after they like went and ghost hunted or whatever, she passed out in the car, like knocked out, like tired. She woke up like 3 hours later or whatever, or 2 hours later. And they're just like driving around, like got Jack in a Box, like
Yeah.
eating, you know, like late night stuff, like just
Yeah.
chilling, you know, after like talking about what happened, whatever. And then she finally wakes up and she goes, oh, guys, are we going to go ghost hunting? And they're like, we just did. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, what? She didn't even remember that they went. And they're like, what is wrong with you, girl? So I believed she was getting possessed. And that's what they told me, right? Now, I wasn't there that night, but I was like, yo, we got to go again when I'm there. So we're so stupid, bro. We were like, let's get lit. So we got like, we drank a little bit.
Yeah.
And my cousin was here. My cousin flew. She lives on the Big Island. So she came and she was with us. So we were like partying a little bit and we're like, yeah, let's go ghost hunting. We're so stupid. Bro, tell me why we all went to Manoa Falls and thought it was a good idea to do that hike at like 1 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
So we're at fucking Manoa Falls doing this hike. Like 1 a.m. We're walking, we're like, you know, like having fun, it's fine. It wasn't a particularly like hot night or anything like that. I remember I was wearing a hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my cousin was wearing a hoodie and we were fine. And we were just like walking real slow. We're, you know, it's night, you can't see. We're just like, whatever. My friend Caitlin starts acting super weird. And the number one thing I remember was she was profusely sweating. Like, girl was like dripping. Like,
Holy.
yeah.
Like water. Yeah.
Yeah, like water. Like, it was like super noticeable. I'm like, girl, are you okay? And she wasn't like really being herself. And then she tried jumping off the cliff.
Not
and I was like, what are
even.
you doing? Like, we literally had to physically stop her. And I was like, we're turning around. And I'm not the kind of person that like really gets freaked out, you know, but she was acting so unlike herself that I was like, yo, she's freaking me out. So anyway, she snapped out of it by the time we went back to the car. And I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, are you okay? No. And she was like, all I remember, she said, was she was waiting for us at the end of the hike. And she said, all I remember is I could see your cousin, and your cousin is all white. And my cousin's is very innocent, like, really good-hearted person. So I would believe that my cousin would be like glowing white. You know what I mean? Because she hasn't really experienced like anything crazy, I don't think, in life. You know what I mean? So she still has that like innocent air. But she said that she could see us because she could see my cousin, and my cousin was glowing. And this lady with red hair took her and said, I gotta put you back in your body, and put her back in her body. I was like, what? And I'm like, yo, that sounds like Pele, dude.
Yeah, that
You know
could
what I
have
mean?
been.
And she didn't know anything about that. And she was like, what's that? Like, what is that? And I explained to her what it was, and I like showed her pictures and stuff, and she was like, yeah, that's her. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my
so
God.
she told me, or she believes or whatever, that some Some lady with red hair
Saved her.
told her you need to go back into your body and dragged her soul or whatever, like guided her back to our group.
Yeah.
When we we're like, we're out of here, we're turning around.
Yeah.
So I believe there's a lot of weird, I don't know. I think there's like some portal or something over there.
Me too.
I think it's weird.
That's what I think too. Like, and then I also had another experience with my dad. Not experience me, but he had an experience with the lady in white.
Oh.
I totally forgot to tell you that too. He had gone fishing when he was younger, and he was with my mom. We weren't born yet, I guess. And then
Which they say that's if you bring pork on the poly or something, right?
no, not all the time.
Oh.
There's good lady in white and there's bad lady in white. A lot of people experienced the bad one, but my dad experienced the good one that night. I think it was Cayena Point.
Oh shit.
There was this cliff back then where people would go fishing. That was like a good spot to get fish.
Okay.
And it was late at night, and my dad them, they drink too, yeah. So they were fishing with my uncle them, and where they were there fishing, the water comes up high tide, but then there's like waves.
Yeah.
People die there. You know what I mean? I guess so. My dad was a gutsy person, so he was telling me that he smelt plumeria flowers,
Yeah.
but it was
wow.
so strong, and he had on feeling something was up. So I think he looked back. There was a lady in white. She was in a white dress. Like, she wasn't walking, she was floating down to him, but he was just halfway there looking at him, and she had supposedly no face, and he felt like he had to leave.
Yeah.
And my mom was already telling him a few times, we gotta go already, this is getting ridiculous. So as soon as my dad then packed up everything, they almost got hit from that wave.
Dang.
They were saved.
Wow.
Like, he told all of us this story, and
Wow.
oh my God, I got chicken skin from that too.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
I'm explaining it correctly, but that exactly.
Yeah, you
almost
are. Yeah,
like
I get it. Yeah, like
how he said it, you know.
faceless lady in white. I think I've heard something like that.
Yeah, and then when he was getting into the car, they drove back, and he saw her in the back on the cliff still, and she waved. She waved at
Crazy.
him.
Wow. My friend said that, and he was very skeptical of stuff like that too. Never believed that kind of stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh, like, I heard you were Ubering, right, for a while. He's like, oh my God, I stopped that. I'm like, why? And he was like, I took this one old man, and he wanted me to drop him off at the cemetery. And then he disappeared out of my truck, and I was like, "What?"
Geez.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yep, never Ubered again." I was like, "Oh
Holy
shit, I don't
crap.
blame you, bro." Dang, did he
That's
at least
crazy.
give you 5 stars on the app?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Oh my goodness,
how did
that's
he call
crazy.
an Uber?
Yeah.
These ghosts with these cell phone connection, though.
And then my sister too. Their house was haunted. They had lived in a Quonset hut up Waianae Valley.
Oh, I believe it.
And where they were at, they were like kind of far apart from the other Quonsets, yeah. So their house was haunted. First, my sister saw something hovering over the house, and when we ended up she ended up taking my mom with her, because my mom could see too and feel, yeah. So she took my mom with her. My mom was blessing the house, and she said that my sister was about to fight my mom, and she was breathing heavily, like
Oh my God,
girlfriend,
yeah.
like, oh my God. My mom told me that story, I was glad I didn't go. And mind you, I wanted to go that day.
Oh.
But, you know, my mom was like, yeah, she was yelling at me, telling me, fuck me, everything like that. And then when we got into the car, she was crying, and then she didn't even remember what happened either.
Yeah.
And my sister, she has that. One time she had a seizure. We're up the valley too. And that was the first time she saw somebody. Like, after that seizure, something went tick into her where she started to see ghosts. And now she sees it more frequently. And what I heard of that theory is, when you know you have that ability to see things and know things like that off the back, that's when the spirits come to you more.
Yeah, I
Because
believe
they're
my
trying
sister,
to haunt you. They're trying to...
Well, they're trying to do whatever. But I believe my sister has that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's really afraid of it.
Yeah.
But in her store, she used to work at the town gas station, and she said that she always would have to walk by the cemetery, and she would always get like lightheaded, or it was like customers would come into the store, and because every time you open the door, it goes ding ding. She said the thing would go off all the time
Damn.
for nothing, and weird stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so she actually sat me down and was like, I don't want you to go ghost hunting anymore. Because I would come over to the house and like tell them about it, right? And now my friends and I were really careful. Like we would always do like saging ceremonies and give offerings, like don't follow us. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Regardless of that, I still don't want to participate in any of that. And one of the stories that is probably the dumbest thing me and my friends have ever done is we brought a Ouija board to one of the cemeteries.
Oh, that's it. I don't like do this thing. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
Just like,
I was like, I'm not touching that thing. My friend that was with me claimed that he could see demons, not ghosts. He could see only demons. Whatever. But when he told us it was time to leave, I left because I was like, I don't know what he's seeing or whatever. So we went over there. We're at the cemetery. Now, when we first go into the cemetery, the gate was closed, but it was a little bit cracked. Like, so we couldn't drive up because I wanted to drive in. Mm-hmm. I was like, fuck, we can't drive in. Shit. Let's try to open it. So we all got out of the car and we go up to the gate and we're all trying to figure out like if there's like a way we could open it.
yeah.
Whatever, cannot, right? So we're like, whatever, let's just go. So we just go in between the crack and then we go and we're up there. So then my friends, now I didn't realize how drunk they were until we got there. And then like my friend couldn't even like not step on stuff. And that was like giving me anxiety. I'm like, dude, stop. You're stepping on like all the headstones. You're like acting all silly. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, now it's not, there's no control over you now. So now maybe let's go. But before that happened, they were like playing with it, whatever. My friend and I were like doing our own, we were just like talking, doing our own thing. And then finally he was like looking past me and stuff and he's like, maybe we should go. My friends are acting kind of irritating us. And I was getting mad because they kept like stepping on stuff. And I was like, all right, guys, we're going to go. Let's go. And my friend's like, I'm really going to pee. And I'm like, as we walk out, like go over there by the tree or something like that, you know, like we'll figure it out after.
Right.
We look and turn, the gate is wide open.
Not even.
Girl, we ran so fast to the car. I was like, oh, that's a sign. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah. Then we all run into the car. Car doesn't start. I was like, oh my God.
Goodness.
And my friends were like freaking out. I said, guys, stop. I said, you guys apologize right now for stepping on all the headstones. Like, you guys need to make amends right now. And they did. And as soon as they were done, we started the car again and it started. And I was like, oh,
that's
I
so
knew
good.
it. I knew it. I knew
goodness.
if you apologized. Like something, I don't know. I don't know what made me think of that. But I was just like, okay, we pissed somebody off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But that was the scare. From that moment on, I was like, never again, dude. Never again.
I played with an Ouija board one time, but I didn't play. I didn't even know what it was. It was just a board asking questions, and it said whatever the name. That was before I ever knew what it was. Me and my niece was intermediate, and we were into boys and crushes. So I asked a question: if this boy likes me, and then we both asked it, and then we both had our hand on top of it, but it moved quickly, and I swear I thought it was her. And I was like, that was you who did it. Wasn't Toys R Us. That's where the damn board was. Toys R Us underneath one shelf. And
they say you can't even get rid of Ouija boards once you touch it.
You can't even burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that creepy?
I mean, I don't want to try and test it, but I want to know if that's real.
I don't want to. No, I would never buy that.
Yeah,
no,
me
hell
either.
No.
And then, what is that called? She ran away. She got up, she ran away, and she was scared. She was scared.
What
I
did
just
it say? Did the guy like you?
I don't remember. I think it just moved. That's it.
Oh, okay.
It moved
and then you were already creeped out.
It was already creeped out, yeah. So I was laughing at her.
So
Why
ghosts
you
are
move
real.
on?
That's our conclusion, guys.
It is.
Now let's get into more conspiracy theories
Oh, yes.
before these ghosts keep ruining my audio. For this
I
video.
know. It's still recording?
Yeah, still
'Kay.
recording.
Aliens. Are aliens real?
Of course they are. Look at us. We're all aliens. We are different.
My brother
That's what
looked like an
aliens is,
alien
yeah?
as a
No,
baby.
just kidding.
Some of y'all babies look like aliens.
Yeah. You know
Just
what?
kidding.
Fix you guys. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Extraterrestrials, UFOs. What do you think they look like? Do you think they look like E.T. or do you think they look more like Avatar?
That would be killer if it was Avatar.
Bro, I would date
I
one.
would love to meet one. but you better get muscles, yeah. So, because they'll make those movies like that if the thing not real, you know. You guys get those ideas for a reason.
What reason?
Yeah. I don't really know. I'm thinking.
If you were single, would you date like an avatar
Oh hell yeah!
if they were real? Yeah.
Even if I wasn't single. No, just kidding. I just kidding. I love my
Girl.
boyfriend. I'm just playing. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't date an. I don't know if I would date an avatar if I was single. Depends how they look.
Or alien or avatar, whatever. Like just, I just say avatar as like, because when you think of aliens, like E.T. is like ugly and like weird, you know,
Yeah.
and like like his finger glows. That would be kind of cool.
I mean,
If
yeah,
my
it
phone
would be
dies and I
cool.
have a flashlight all the time.
Oh yeah, of course. Just in case anything,
But-
you know.
Phone
Hi.
home.
Let me know where I'm at.
Phone home. So you think they're real?
Yes, I think they're real. I'm thinking maybe they look however they look, but maybe it's kind of, maybe they're like us. They're very clueless and they want to see what we're about and they think
you
we're
th-
aliens, maybe.
Do you think aliens would get plastic surgery?
For what? To look human?
Yeah, exactly. For what? Yeah. I don't know.
I
To look
haven't-
less alien-y. What if they look like, I guess, for the same reason that we get plastic surgery is to look younger, I guess,
Oh,
right?
yeah, maybe.
But I don't think it works for some people.
Maybe. I'm thinking they're probably just like us. We do all the same things they do, but then they don't know that there's other people like us, or like them,
Oh,
or
maybe, yeah.
or we look different from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who knows?
What
There's
about mermaids? Because that's
Mermaids.
kind of close to like Avatar. Do you think mermaids are real?
We're all mermaids. You know what I mean? Watch everybody get into the water and how they swim. Like one mermaid.
If you surf on North Shore, you're one mermaid.
Yep. You touch
Because
one
a
little bit
mermaid
in the water.
is
A better question to ask is, are you talking about mermaids or sirens?
mermaids.
Okay.
Mermaids.
Oh, yeah, mermaid.
I didn't want to get into that.
Okay.
Aquatic creature. So a mermaid is an aquatic creature with a head and upper body of a female human and a tail of a fish.
I mean, I think maybe possibly it could be real. Like how you said, like, why would they make movies and stuff like that if it wasn't? Because who would come up with those ideas just like that?
So then what about vampires then? Are vampires real? Because I'm trying to live forever, girl. Shoot. I don't
Me
want to drink no
too.
blood, but I'll drink like... You know, there's no like kid in Japan that's invented like a youth serum by now.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what? That just surprises me.
yeah. I heard that they are real vampires. I even
Really?
watched this thing. It's supposedly real. I don't know what it was called. I forgot, but they said something about werewolves was real. They said vampires was real, and
You gotta send that to me.
yeah, I will. I'll send it to you later. I
gotta
gotta go look it
research.
up again, but
So what about Bigfoot?
oh,
What do you think about Bigfoot?
Bigfoot guarantee real. Whoever get one big feet is real. Is Bigfoot. Okay. You
No,
gonna
no,
tell
no.
your Bigfoot person
No,
to
no, no.
leave us alone, yeah. Leave your family there. Okay.
Bigfoot
No.
is or has been seen as like a giant that's like super hairy but resembles and like kind of looks like a person.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was doing a lot of research about it. And the reason that they thought something like Bigfoot existed was because they saw these big footprints. And then in 2019 in 2002 they basically somebody admitted that those footprints was a prank.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how it started off, and then people like ran with that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Bigfoot is real. So apparently this guy too, they ended up finding hairs and they sent it, and the FBI actually did the guy a favor and looked and saw and tried to do DNA on the hairs that they found that was Bigfoot's, and he confirmed that they were just deer hairs. So I
Oh,
think
okay.
it's an idea that people want to be true. I don't believe it's true. I went to Colorado and there's literally stores that sell Bigfoot merchandise. Like to the point where I almost bought something and I'm
Yeah.
like, Bigfoot's not even real. But it's cute. Like the idea is cute and it's funny. And I'm like, I think that it's completely made up. Bears, I don't know if you know this, and Joe Rogan talked about this on his podcast, they can stand on 2 feet and walk around. And they actually do that a lot. And I feel like somebody maybe saw a bear and took a picture of a bear or like videos of a bear or something, and then they just blew it up to something different.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't
So
know.
it's like playing phone call or something. You know how or
Telephone.
telephone.
Yeah.
Where you saying one thing to one person, that person saying but then they're not
Bro,
remembering.
that game is
It's-
fun.
It is. It is.
Being a police officer is like a giant game of telephone.
Yeah.
So I went to a call one time because they said some girl like hurt herself. What does that sound like to you? I'm gonna walk in
Yep.
and some girl's gonna try like kill herself or something,
yep.
right? This is exactly what happened. I walk in, the girl's bleeding, but it's just minor. I'm like, oh. I said, hey, just so you know, like this was the call that I got. And she said, oh, she said, my neighbor across saw that I hurt myself. So she had like some nail polish or something and she dropped it on the ground and it was glass and it broke. It was some makeup thing or something. And the glass cut her. So it wasn't major, but she, and so when the guy called, I don't know why the guy even called 911, but I guess he didn't really know what was happening because he was like her next door neighbor. He said, oh yeah, my neighbor hurt herself and she's bleeding. You know what I mean? So it sounded worse than what actually happened.
Yeah,
You
what
know
it
what I'm
really
saying? Because
was,
he
yeah.
didn't even have all the details. And I was
Yeah.
like, bruh, but my whole anxiety was like, oh my God, what am I about to walk into? Like, you know?
Oh damn.
But the girls were fine. They were like just drunk, and I was like, okay, you guys are fine, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys are okay. Let's, but yeah, that's like an example right there of a telephone.
Right. Oh, it's crazy how people can just, and then the ideas, like how I said, like with all these things that we think is real or not, I've always wondered, because how would someone come up with an idea like that? You know what I mean? But I mean, like you said, it could
Well,
be.
people are really creative. Though.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. That could be
Like
it too.
Smurfs and all that is all made up. Like
Yeah.
elves and all that stuff. Like people thought about that. Like, oh, what about
Oh,
like,
yeah,
little
yeah, true.
leprechauns or something? Like
Yeah.
leprechauns aren't real. You know what I mean?
Leprechauns are real. Oh, I hope they work. Cause they can clean my shoes. Leprechauns like to clean shoes, and they're OCD. You know what I mean?
Not the actual leprechauns of real legend.
I know, just kidding.
Those guys are gonna mess you up.
I'm the type, I'm into movies a lot. So, like, I always think everything is real. I watch too much movies. You know what I mean?
Everything's real. That's funny.
Yeah.
Leprechauns would be cool. They could give me some gold.
And then
But
everybody had this.
you believe in Bigfoot, you believe in mermaids, you believe in aliens, you believe in everything.
Girl, I believe in everything. Because you know what? We are a part of it.
Do you think the
Nah.
Earth is flat?
Mm, when I walk on it, yeah, I feel like it is. But I mean,
That's the ground.
I look at the globe.
No,
It's so roundy.
that's what I'm
And-
saying.
No, I don't think it's flat. 100%. Wherever you go, depends where you go. It's
I
flat.
asked her this earlier. I was like, "Oh, we should talk about the Earth being flat," and she's like, "It's not. There's like, just look at the globe."
Just look
and I was
at
like,
the
"But who made the
globe."
globe?" She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, who made the globe? Do you know? Do you think someone made like,
Made the globe.
yeah,
Maybe the aliens. maybe they the ones. Maybe that's why they're aliens. They're like very hidden and suspicious. They probably created a lot of things, but I believe God created everything. But if we got into it like that, I don't know who made the globe. If it was a person,
scientists?" I don't
Yeah.
know.
or maybe we're like one of those little like the lava lamps. Maybe our world is like that.
In the lava lamp.
Yeah, maybe they made
We're
a drop
in the
of it.
lava
Yeah.
lamp. I believe that shit. I could live in a lava lamp, girl.
Shoots. It's so smooth.
Okay, let's lighten it up. Jersey Shore. Who's your favorite on Jersey Shore?
I like Vinny and Snooki.
Okay.
Sammy, I don't know.
Where's the beach?
Yeah, where's the beach?
Where's the beach?
Party's here.
I say that all the time.
With her bump in her
Party's
hair.
here.
Yeah, I do my hair like that too. You know, I've always done my hair like
I
that. And I
love
was
that.
like, oh yeah, Snooki.
Snooki got me into tanning.
Oh yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's freaking hilarious. Remember she got punched in the face by that guy?
Oh my goodness, I wanted
That
to
was
kill that motherfucker.
wild.
Yeah. If I was there, I would have went up to him and be like, "What?" Because he tall. Yeah.
Well, that's what Jen
I'm
did.
probably shorter than the kind.
I
Snooki.
wonder.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to meet them. My favorite.
Me too.
I think my favorite changed, I think. I think I used to. No, I think I've liked Mike consistently. Or I maybe in the beginning I found him really interesting, but now I love him because he's like all positivity and like he's just so
Right.
different now, sobriety and all that. And so I think I like him the most. Jen, I think I liked a little bit too
Oh,
because she always would stand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stand up for her friends, and she's like protective and stuff.
Right.
She was always down. You know.
She was a badass bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She was interesting. I definitely resonated with her persona or character or whatever the most. I kind of was like her, I would say, like in high school. Like no one would really mess with me, and that was kind of like the energy I gave off. Now I'm not so like confrontational and like fighty, like, you know.
I think I have her right now with like anybody
I'm
that talks.
Jen.
Yep. Everybody talks down to me and everything like that. I'm there. Like I'm just like, oh my god, no, don't talk to me like that.
I think just like being a police officer for so long, I was very avoiding like confrontational situations because I always had to go and de-escalate situations that then in my personal life I just changed. Like I think it changed me a lot, like doing police work. But when I was like growing up 16, 17 in high school and stuff, like I was a punk. Like I was like a little Wahiwa punk. Like I remember there was like a span of 2-month period where I punched like 6 guys in the face, different guys. But I would never do that now. Like I would never like strike someone like that. Like even no matter how hard they were like poking at me, like I feel like my self-control as like an older adult is so different to when I was younger, you know, which it should be like that, right? Because we mature, but I don't know. I'm not one scrappa no more.
That's good. Shouldn't be. Now it's like me. It's so like engraved in me, like I guess because I've gotten bullied, like how I said the other podcast, I got bullied a lot. So it's like now,
but you don't feel like you're turning into the bully.
I
even you know,
I actually feel like I do have
like
my
they're
wrongs.
Making you into that or something. You know?
They're
like,
making me feel like they're the victims now. Like people when they talk down to me or
why
get
do you
stupid
got so
at me,
many haters?
I don't know. I guess
You must be doing something right.
and you know what it is.
Haters gonna hate, potatoes gonna potate.
Haterators, yeah. You guys, okay? You guys have to stop already. Enough.
Yeah.
Nah. They hate because you're real. When you're real, it seems like you get more haters than anything because nobody likes to hear what really is, and no one likes to get checked. That's one thing. People are so like hung up.
You gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. Right?
I think real friends check you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I love about my friend Connor, Jordan, and CJ. Is like we check each other. You know, like, and I feel like that's how friends should be. You know, they should pull you aside and be like, "Hey, man, you're acting crazy.
Yeah.
You're drinking too much. X, Y, and Z. You know." That's real accountability, like keeping your friends accountable. Actually, my friend walked into the gym last night and I took my headphones out of my jacket and put it in my pocket. And she was like, "Is that a vape?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Try show me." And I showed her and it was my headphones. And she was like, "Okay, because I was going to check you if you were vaping." Because she saw that I posted.
Yeah.
I was like, "Girl, no.
No.
I'm not addicted to a USB drive anymore."
No. Right?
I moved on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of people hate on people because they're real. And it's very frustrating because now it's like the pride is so in the way with everybody, and once you get checked from somebody, they thinking that you're trying to be mean or you're trying to start a problem. So they make it like you're the problem when all we're doing is asking one question. You know what I mean? But I guess it's how you come at it. Yeah, maybe some people
how you present it. Well, like how you present the information or the checking or whatever, but also if the person's not ready to hear what they need to hear to grow as a person, they're gonna reject it. You know what I mean?
They're gonna take offense.
And they're gonna take offense. They're gonna get offended. And I'll even preface certain things with, "Hey, man, like I'm not trying to offend you, but like this is." And my friends know when I'm kidding or when it's like a real conversation. Like you know, like, but yeah, I think it's important to keep your friends accountable.
Yeah.
And if you can't give them feedback like that, then they're not.
Then how will they ask you a question?
Well, they're just not people that should be in your life.
Yep, that cut a lot of people out.
Yeah, if you guys don't understand each other on that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And I like barely.
You're saying that like people hate on you because you're trying to. Because of the social media stuff?
The social media stuff. Like, I tell it like it is. Like, what goes on throughout the day. Like, I do videos of what happened that day of mine. Like, with me. and I'm just like, the way I do it, maybe I sound cocky or whatever, or maybe they're mad that I'm kind of getting a little up there. I'm not trying to be like stuck up, or I'm not better than anybody else, you know what I mean? No matter if I got up there or not. I'm just trying to make a difference in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some people don't like it. Some people are jealous, or they just have a problem with it, because either they're not like that, or they just like being fake. Some people,
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is social media,
Mm-hmm.
because when you look at the algorithm, obviously the algorithm wants you to keep scrolling.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to show you videos that it knows you'll agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And so people get conditioned to thinking that they're right.
Yeah.
So when they find a video they don't disagree with, it frustrates them because the algorithm has fed them so many things that they're just like, oh yeah, this affirms what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's more or less about, I want the world to bend to my will rather than life sucks, get a helmet.
Yeah.
And that's how the generation is today.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and then some people thinking that my post is about them, because I'm.
Well, if the shoe fits, honey.
You're guilty. You're guilty.
If I'm spreading some inspirational stuff about don't be lazy, get some goals, get some aspirations,
or
and
no,
you
talk
feel
like that to me.
and you feel like it's directly for you, maybe it is for you.
Yeah, we should celebrate.
Maybe you should hear it. Maybe it's something you needed to hear.
Yeah, it's true. But like me, I talk about real things every day. Ever since I've started it, I've always been the way I was with it. Talked about almost the same things. And I guess when you have an issue with somebody and then you still post it, they're thinking it's about them.
The violence on this island is like insane.
It's crazy.
And I'm glad you talk about that, because I just watched the Talma Boneville murder or whatever, the one on North Shore.
Yeah.
Just like insane, dude. Like that people just can possibly behave that way. You know what's crazy too? They were talking about the guy who murdered her, and they were like, oh, he didn't really have like good parents growing up. And I'm like, you know what's crazy? He basically like murdered somebody that probably would have been a good mom to him or something, like mom type figure, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's crazy how not being hugged as a child and not being paid attention to from your parents has like a huge impact on how you act.
That's how I was.
Yeah.
My parents.
Yeah, but you're not out here murdering people, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this like these psychos or whatever.
Yeah.
I gotta read up on what happened to the girl, but the guy, you know what really pisses me off though, for real? If you're gonna do something like that, like murder somebody or do something like that, and then the trial comes, don't act like you didn't do it.
Yeah, for real.
Like
There's evidence there.
don't make an act. Don't act like, if you're gonna act all tough when they arrest you and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just keep the act all the way through, or
Yeah.
just be like, yeah, I did it, and like, don't be like,
Oh, well, I wasn't in there, and then she, like, did this, and
then
I
you get
came
like
back,
that.
and I don't know what happened.
like, stop playing, bruh. Like, we know that's not what happened.
10 more trials later.
Yeah,
10
we know
more
that's not what
trials.
happened. Come on.
Trials.
It's like annoying, you know?
It is.
They act all tough, and then then you're on trial.
I never did it. Oh, my God.
Well,
You
if
know?
if you did it, then that means you want to be in jail. Period. You want to live that
Good,
life,
for the
because
rest
I
of their
even
life.
tell them too. Like, once the gun violences and stuff, why are you going to do that? Why are you going kill somebody, or you know what's going to happen to you? And you think you can just hide?
Wait,
You're not
say
gonna-
that. What you said on social media the other day.
Oh, stop the gun violence. Stop
It's
the
ending
the violence,
your life
period.
because you're
Yep.
gonna spend your whole life in jail.
Yep, you murder somebody, you might as well just murder yourself, because you're gonna risk your life being in jail.
Your life's over.
And mind you, they say you only sometimes when you accidentally kill somebody or murder somebody and you have a reason, they get like only years and this and that much, and then good behavior you get out. Mind you, when you're in prison, you know how the movies are where you're in prison and you gotta fight for your own plate. Or people like take your food, people like stab you, people like kill you. But what you gotta do, you gotta defend yourself. You gotta kill them first, right? Some of them
Yeah.
do that, and that's real. That's real how it is in prison nowadays.
yeah.
Even the officers are killing people. You know what I mean? Officers are killing because they're on someone's bad side in prison. You know what I mean? They're friends of friends and gang members, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, people.
It's a whole nother world, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get your freedom taken away, now you're in this whole nother environment, basically. you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm not. You shouldn't just think of the consequence, and that's why you shouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just think of the consequence, like, oh, I don't want to kill anybody because I'm gonna go to jail for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It, not just that, but I think that when you commit something as horrible as sinful as that, it's
a
like
faster act, yeah.
it taints your soul.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that have done horrible things and that are in prison or jail, and I actually had an inside tour to San Quentin
Mm-hmm.
when I lived in Marin County. I went to College of Marin, and I specifically took this one business class because I heard that she would take her whole class every semester to San Quentin prison. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've heard of it.
No.
I met guys before I became a police officer that were in there for life because of the 3-strike law in California.
Mm-hmm.
So in California, if you have 3 strikes, you get life in prison. One guy,
3 strikes of what? What did he got to do?
different crimes. So one
okay.
guy, his first crime that he was like convicted of was a robbery that he claims he wasn't involved in or whatever. Usually I believe they're usually violent crimes or involve some sort of violence, or at least felonies, like at least felony type crimes. But once you get 3 strikes, then they just throw you in there. Now they've changed the laws here and there, and a lot of those guys were in for a long time, and then but I did meet a couple of them that were like about to get out too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how is that? Like, how nerve-wracking is that, or how does that feel? And they're like, I just wish like I knew what right and wrong was, and I wasn't so on the streets or like trying to do street stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then they just want like peace now. They just want like a normal life. You know what I mean? So I think it's not just the consequence, but it's like, dude, think about your soul. Like, think about the world and the energy, and like,
Yep. That's exactly
what you do comes back to you. And if I believe that, I believe what you put out comes back. So if you're gonna put out evil, that's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna come back, but
That is so true.
you know, but because a lot of them start turning to God after, because they realize like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
So
Some of them
do you believe people can be rehabilitated?
Maybe. I think so. I mean, I've never really had a doubt really too much about it. I mean, God loves everybody, you know. But I think
Because some people too, they've commit crimes when they're like 16, 17, 18, and they're like in with the wrong people or in the bad neighborhoods, and then they end up spending their whole life locked up, in and out. You know what I mean?
I think they can get accepted if they're really sincerely sorry and asking for forgiveness the right
Like
way.
actually learned from whatever
learn
it was.
from it and not just doing it because they like be saved. Because there's a difference. Like there's times where guys are in prison and they're just only worshiping God now as much as they do because they know they did something wrong, like a murder. But I guess they just want it to save them, I guess.
Yeah.
Or they want to make it like it's okay. Some people try to ask for forgiveness so that way they could be okay with what they did. But really, do you mean it? You know?
Yeah.
That's it, pretty much.
I think God knows if you mean it. Like, I think it, yeah, I agree with that. I think it matters.
That's crazy, though.
I think that's it for the day.
Yeah?
I think so. All right, guys, if you liked any of the stuff that we talked about, conspiracy theories, Bigfoot, mermaids, whatever else, please like, subscribe, share. I super appreciate you guys watching the podcast. Don't forget to come to the podcast party. August 31st, you're coming, right?
Oh, yes.
All right. You're
I'll
going to
be
be
there.
able to meet Chas.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Cuz check me out.
It's going to be fun. Don't miss it. It's going to be the best party to end out the summer. We're going to have drinks by Agua Babe. We're going to have DJ Easily 808 DJing for a couple hours. It's going to be 11 to 4. Coppolina Beach Homes, Cove 2. It's going to be lit. Thank you
disco.
guys. It's going to be
Disco.
so
We
fun.
could dance.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for watching Lucy's Paradise Podcast.
Peace out. Have a good day.
No violence.
No violence, period. Unless you got it. No, just kidding. Don't. Shh. Sorry.